record your major label debut album in the biggest and most expensive studio you've ever been to yet. You've got a fragile and somber acoustic song that you're planning on recording for the album. Your band received a $287,000 advance from the label. So surely, you're going to go out and buy the most high-end, fanciest acoustic guitar you can find, right? If you're Kurt Cobain, you don't do any of that. Kurt walked into Sound City Studios in LA in May of 1991 with his beat-up 60s Stella Harmony H912. This guitar was so rugged that he used duct tape to help keep the tuners in place and used pliers when tuning the 5 nylon strings. Despite the flaws and issues that came with having 5 nylon strings on what was designed to be a 12 steel string guitar, it's been said that this is the guitar Kurt wrote the most songs on. He never brought it on stage, but it was a favorite that he always had close to him, even when on tour. I was extremely lucky recently. Thanks to a good friend of mine, I got an insane deal on a late 60s H912 that is exactly like Kurt's. The only way I could get any closer is if I played his actual Stella. In this video, we will be doing a deep dive into Kurt's Stella Harmony, and I will show mine and share my challenges with it and the story of how I got it. We will also take a little bit of a turn to explore how this guitar connects Kurt to his hero, who is an extremely influential legend in his own right. Stella was an American guitar brand that was founded around 1899 and owned by the Oscar Schmidt Company. The Stella brand consisted of low and mid-level stringed instruments. The brand enjoyed great success until the Great Depression. In 1939, Stella was bought out by the Harmony Company. It remained in their ownership until the brand was dissolved in 1974. The H912s were made by Harmony in Chicago from around 1966 to 1969. It's hard to find exactly how long they were made for, but the general consensus is that they were only in production from the mid to late 60s. Harmony was one of the first manufacturers of 12-string guitars after World War II. The H912 and H913 were recreations of the classic early Oscar Schmidt era guitars that were favored by legends such as Robert Johnson and Leadbelly. These guitars were widely viewed as 12-string Delta blues machines, with bluesmen generally tuning them down a full step or more to reduce the extreme amount of tension that the strings naturally put on the neck. If you look for a vintage Stella guitar today, the prices are generally not too crazy until you start looking for an H912. That is thanks to the association that this guitar will forever have with one of the most celebrated rock albums of all time. But how did it get there? Kurt Cobain purchased his Stella Harmony on October 12, 1989, at Edgewater Pawn Shop and Sheridan Jewelry for $31.23. We know the exact price and date because, amazingly, the receipt still exists. In his final interview with Guitar World magazine, Kurt says that the guitar is a
$20 junk shop Stella. I didn't bother changing the strings. It barely stays in tune. In fact, I have to use duct tape to hold the tuning keys in place.
It already had the 5 nylon strings on when he bought it, and supposedly, he never changed the strings the entire time he had this guitar. Between Nevermind, In Utero, and many home demos, it's kind of amazing to think that we are maybe hearing the same set of strings on every recording. As alluded to in Kurt's quote, he had several problems with this guitar, but you have to keep in mind, he had this guitar set up in a very unconventional way. When you have nylon strings on a vintage guitar that's meant to have 12 steel strings, you are going to run into problems. There's no way around it. A 12 string typically has 200 pounds of tension on the neck, while classical guitars with nylon strings have around 80 pounds. Reducing the tension level so drastically is going to be hard on what is already an old neck. When making an instrument do something it was not designed to do, workarounds are needed. As we know from his quote, he used duct tape to keep the tuning keys in place. We can see the duct tape in pictures too. He used pliers when tuning the guitar. probably because he had the tape holding them down so hard. Nylons will not fit into an H912 bridge. I can attest to that, as that happened to mine. Also, their bridges are floating, meaning that they are not glued and only held in place by the tension of the strings. This sounds weird. Trust me, it weirded me out.